We pray for better days.
Hey, what's up everyone? Welcome back. Let me first start off with apologizing to everyone who liked endurance runs in Steel Path, because my god, did DE just push an update out. Let's just jump straight into it without further bullshitting. Number 1, Steel Essence nerfs. Now, you would have been living under a rock to expect anything else. Everyone and their mother who farmed Steel Essence expected this nerf. What we didn't expect is for DE to murder the farm completely. According to DE, their reasoning is to reward broader diverse play instead of AFK macro farming, which in and of itself is an absolute insane fucking statement. Because to avoid AFK macro farming, all they have to do is to punish it. Punish it with trade bans, punish it with temporary account bans. These bans will make players think twice about what they're planning to do. You can't push this on the entire community, just because they can't slap a few players on the hand for literally breaking terms of service. So basically, DE's reason for nerfing Steel Essence drops is that they are too incompetent to deal with a small group of players and would rather ruin the fun for everyone than to actually take some responsibility. What will Steel Essence farming look like now, you ask? You will have to do daily rotating missions, which will give you a guaranteed 3 Steel Essence. This is absolute garbage and doesn't even come close to the amount you'll need for some actual decent loot. And with decent loot, I mean Kuva, because other than some cosmetics, maybe a ribbon here and there, the reward table is absolutely ridiculous and not worth the time. There's also a chance for acolytes spawning on these missions randomly. These acolytes, when killed, will grant you 2 Steel Essence. Yes, 2 Steel Essence. I just can't even tell you how disappointed I am in this drastic and pretty much devastating nerf. But it's not even only that. Within this update, there's number 2, the Kora nerf. Now this one upsets a lot of Koras, and rightfully so. And with a lot, I mean a lot of Koras. Because it's a straight nerf to her Whipclaw, disabling the wall clip and giving it a line of sight mechanic. Listen, I do agree that Kora is completely busted and way overpowered, but this is Warframe. We are literal gods, gliding over genetic peasants and killing them by the thousands. Witchframe isn't overpowered. But hey, I mean, at least now that Steel Essence farming is dead, she won't need this mechanic anymore, right? So, win-win for Nerf City, right? I mean, can she still murder everything with one click of a button? Yeah, yes she can. But you're gonna run into a lot of quality of life issues, and she will generally be less fun to play all around. And it's not just a nerf, it is how the nerf was presented. It was among a fuck ton of other information, basically almost hidden. Like, do we even remember the Revenant nerf? Do we even remember his Shadow nerf? This was almost the same. You really needed to read very carefully to see this nerf even. That's insane. We also got lackluster buffs for other frames like Nidus, Necros, etc. As if Nidus needed a buff. Are you seriously going to tell me that one of the strongest frames in the whole game needs a buff? With what data are you going to come to prove that? Or not even prove, but explain it at least. Ashe gets a small quality of life upgrade with Bladestorm applying full number of marks at once, which is actually a nice update. Atlas is still hopelessly wandering in the abyss, with DE basically telling us that they need a lot more time to actually improve his whole skill set, which makes sense. Now, Chroma's changes barely affect anything. Changing elements on the fly technically is a good thing, but the effects don't even change while Spectral Scream is active, which makes it a hassle to use. And his passive is an absolute joke. An extra jump or bullet jump with Spectral Wings? Who designed this and thought, yeah, this is what Chroma needs. This is what any frame needs. Oh, and improved performance while playing Banshee, but there are no changes or improvements stated. So those are the general updates. But now comes the part where we grab Steel Path by the balls. Who in their right mind would play the Steel Path now, with rewards that are nerfed into the ground and literally no reason to play other than getting Umbra Formas, maybe a Riven, and reaching level cap a little faster for the X weapon versus level 9999 red crit circus titles this mentally challenged community watches religiously. And this isn't a jab towards the YouTubers who use these titles either. If you have 2 brain cells, you'd notice that I said community, in effect the players. Well, we'll get to that topic in the future. Now, why did DE nerf the Steel Essence farm? Because it was the most effective Kuva farm in the game. It's as simple as that. Going between Kuva survival, relic survival, and arbitrations, Steel Path endurance runs on specific nodes were far superior. And what do we do with Kuva? We roll Rivens. Either to get close to perfect stats for ourselves, or to feed the absolute shithole that we call the Riven market with overpriced mods. And yes, I agree. Getting 200 Steel Essence for 1.5 hour playtime is insane. But mind you, we use boosters that we bought with Plat, a drop chance boosting Kora that needs a fuck ton of farming, and Smida Cavats. That all bring in Plat, or money, for DE. All these items need either tons of farming, Forma, or have to be literally bought from the market directly. Therefore, we use what was already in the game to get better rewards. Now, I would have totally agreed on nerfing the drop chance of Steel Essence. As I said, it's too much. Hell, even 100 Steel Essence for an hour of survival is a lot, but completely decimating it wasn't in my books of possible nerfs to come. Then again, DE never ceases to surprise with these things. So right now, Steel Essence farming is dead. Farming for Umbra Formas, which you honestly really don't need, will take you multiple days. Casual players will probably like the new addition to the Steel Path though, as they offer at least some switch up. So that's at least a plus. And future nerfs will probably happen as well when we look at the new modular weapons, which are hilariously overpowered. So yeah, let's keep a close eye on them. So yeah, that basically wraps this rant up. I hope DE watches some of the videos critiquing the new update and actually listens for once, instead of putting their head in the sand and screaming I don't care. Well yeah, drop a like if you liked the video and hit that subscribe button if you want to see more, and I'll be going now. Later!